One angle that is not often talked about when it comes to this critical race theory stuff is the national security implications of it all. Throw on top of that the fact that there's a study done in 2017, I'm sure it's worse now, that 71% of eligible recruits for the military, 17 to 24, 71% are ineligible. Too dumb, too fat, too slow, too lazy, too incarcerated, too drunk, too high, can't even join. That's 24 million out of 34 million can't even join the military. This is a massive problem. That's China's favorite fun fact, by the way. Nan Hayworth is here. She's the first female doctor in Congress. Dr. Hayworth, how are you, ma'am?
I am privileged to be with you, sir. Thank you.
Grateful to talk to you. Let's talk about the fitness part first, if you don't mind. We have the physical aspect of it, and then we have the mental aspect, I suppose, the sloth of our young people today. How is this concerning to you?
Well, and I've raised two boys myself, Mike, who are now 30 and 28, and they went through our public school system. My husband and I are both public school products. I think we face a whole panoply of issues that fundamentally relate intimately to our, interestingly enough, and paradoxically perhaps, our prosperity as a nation. We have been able, for the past century, to indulge dependence on government. And it really started in earnest with the programs of and I would say the ill-starred programs of the Roosevelt administration during the Great Depression, which actually prolonged the Depression. Amity Shlaes has written about that brilliantly. But we, as a nation, because we, became a global hegemon, particularly after World War II, have been able to afford to indulge a lot of dysfunction. And then when you layer on top of that the cultural aspects of, frankly, promotion of Marxism that Mike Gonzalez talks about in The Plot to Change America, ever since that World War II era, ever since the 30s, even before that, Marxists targeted the United States, and the first place they went was schools of education. Teach the teachers to promote these this cultural phenomenon relying on authority, this authoritarianism, this dependence, this sense of victimhood, balkanization. And all of these phenomena together have resulted in a culture in which Americans have become far less capable. They are less resilient. And, this unfortunately lends itself to all of the unreadiness that you just described.
Yeah, you're so right. So let's go back to the study. There's 34 million eligible Americans, 34 million young people, 17 to 24 years old. 24 ineligible, gone. So at least 10 million. Then you talk about the woke stuff on top of that, where it's like, well, how many of those 10 million hate America and would never join the military, even if we were attacked, right? So would we have this outpouring of patriotism like we saw after 9/11 if something, God forbid, ever happened again, or when it does? I don't think so, and that's a problem. Nan, I wish we had more time. We only got 2 minutes. Can we go back? I want to get your doctor hat on for a second. We're going to talk tomorrow about this, the fact that so many recruits who do go through boot camp, they're breaking their bones. They have brittle bones, stress fractures, just from carrying rucksacks. So they had to come up with this calcium bar in order to give kids proper nutrients. What have you seen in your practicing that has, you think, caused weak, literally physically weak people?
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of it has to do with lack of activity. Frankly, Mike, when I was a kid, we were outdoors all day. We were riding, we were climbing, we were running, we were doing things. That has been replaced by passive activities, unfortunately, in all too many kids. And there has been this culture of excessive protectiveness. There's an appropriate level of protectiveness, but then there's this extreme risk aversion, which frankly we're seeing. COVID has brought out all of this paranoia. Now we're making kids wear masks all day long in school. This is insanity. Kids need to move. They need to climb. They need to be out there mixing it up, not fearing that they might fall and scrape themselves. The Blessing of a Skinned Knee, great book by Wendy Mogul. talks about this, and that probably has a lot to do with the fragility of their bones.
Wow, that was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like, subscribe, get more.